Katerina, and today we are going to be reading Melba and Her Big Trombone by Catherine Russell Brown, illustrated by Frank Morrison. Spread the word! Little Melba Liston was something special. The year she was born was 1926. The place was Kansas City, where you could reach out and feel the music. The avenues were lined with jazz clubs, street bands, folks harmonizing on every corner. All the hot music makers made sure they had a gig at KC. From as far back as her memory would go, Melba loved the sound of music. Jazz, blues, gospel rhythm danced in her head. The plink of the guitar, the hum of the bass, the thump of the drum, the ping-pang of the piano, and the tremble of the sweet horn. The notes stirred, the rhythm bubbled all through Melba's home. She couldn't get enough. Music was always on her mind. She daydreamed about the beats and lyrics. Music was on Melba's mind at night too, when she should have been fast asleep. Melba loved to hum along to the radio. Sometimes the music sounded so good she cupped her ear to the majestic and closed her eyes. She especially loves Fats Waller and his growling voice and booming piano. The piano player came alive when Melba's kinfolk stopped by, and while Melba paddled, her aunties danced on the floor. All that music flying by, Melba wanted to create her own sound. When she was 7 years old, she decided to sign up for music classes at school. What instrument should she play, Melba wondered. At the traveling music store, Melba eyed a long, funny-looking horn. That one, it's beautiful. A trombone, Mama? Lucille frowned. It's big, and you're a little girl. Please, Melba begged. Mama Lucille bought the shiny trombone on the spot. She couldn't say no to her only child. Melba beamed from ear to ear, squeezing her new friend. That night on the porch, Melba listened to Grandpa John play his guitar. This time she had her own music maker. Grandpa John showed Melba how to cradle the horn. She tried pushing out the sides, but her arms were too short. She had to tilt her head sideways and stretch out her arm. Melba gave that horn a mighty blow. Honk! Hey! It sounds bad, like a howling dog. I'm no good, Grandpa, Melba teared up. If you can blow, you can pay, Grandpa John said. Now stand up straight and blow steady. Melba stayed up real late practicing until she could play a simple tune all by herself. Even with her keen ear teaching herself how to play the trombone was no piece of cake. But Melba kept blowing her horn and getting better by day. The cool brass of the horn felt swelt on her fingers. Before long, Melba and her home were making magic. She was only 8 when the local radio station invited her to play a solo. Mama Lucille and Grandpa John were so proud they watched little Melba play her trombone. Hard Times hit rock bottom in 1937. That's when Melba and her mother moved to Los Angeles. The long train ride took them 5 states west, worlds away from Kansas City. Melba's new teachers discovered she was smart as a whip and her test scores were high. The principal skipped her up from the 6th grade to the 8th. In high school, Melba joined the Alma Hightower famous after-school music club. Melba quickly became the star player in the club's band, the Melodical Dots. Other club members struggled to keep up with Melba. Jealous boys called her mean names. She tried not to care, but deep down, named her. Melba used her horn to turn all those hurt feelings into soulful music. Melba's talent kept growing and she began writing music too. Then in 1943, when Melba was 17, Melba was invited to tour the country with a new band led by trumpet player Gerald Wilson. "Go meet the world," Mama Lucille said, and she hugged Melba goodbye. "You have my blessing." Melba could feel it in her bones. This jazz scene was calling her name. Traveling with the band was a thrill. Each city from Salt Lake to New York was an eye for something new. Melba became a master musician. She composed and arranged music, spin rhymes, harmonies, and melodies into a gorgeous song. And when Melba played her trombone, her bold notes and one-of-a-kind mesmerized the crowd. Still, Melba was lonely. She was the only woman in the band, and some of the men were cruel. Others acted like she wasn't there. But Melba let the music in her head keep her company. Tough times came when Melba traveled down south with singer Billie Holiday and her band. Some white folks didn't show good manners towards folks with brown skin. Hotel rooms were hard to come by, and the band members often had to sleep on the bus. Restaurants didn't always want their business, and in the clubs sometimes. Melba was invited to tour the country with a new band led by trumpet player Gerald Wilson. "Go meet the world," Mama Lucille said, and she hugged Melba goodbye. "You have my blessing." Melba could feel it in her bones. This jazz scene was calling her name. Traveling with the band was a thrill. Each city from Salt Lake to New York was an eye for something new. Melba became a master musician. She composed and arranged music, spin rhymes, harmonies, and melodies into a gorgeous song. And when Melba played her trombone, her bold notes and one-of-a-kind mesmerized the crowd. Still, Melba was lonely. She was the only woman in the band, and some of the men were cruel. Others acted like she wasn't there. But Melba let the music in her head keep her company. Tough times came when Melba traveled down south with singer Billie Holiday and her band. Some white folks didn't show good manners towards folks with brown skin. Hotel rooms were hard to come by, and the band members often had to sleep on the bus. Restaurants didn't always want their business, and in the clubs, sometimes audiences just sat there, staring at the band, or didn't show up at all. Discouraged, Melba almost walked away from her trombone for good. But Melba's fans wouldn't let her quit. By the 1950s, all the cool jazz musicians wanted some of that Melba magic. Dizzy Gillespie, Duke Ellington, Quincy Jones, and more. They wanted to be on the bandstand with Melba and her divine horn. They wanted to play Melba's music. Melba and her music trot around the globe, dazzling audiences and making headlines in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. All her life, Melba wanted to keep composing and arranging music and making her trombone sing. Spread the word. Melba Liston was something special. And we end the book with afterwords about Melba. Thank you. And this was Melba and her big trombone. Author is Catherine Russell Brown and illustrator is Frank Morrison. Thank you.
Hey kids, this is Andre from Transit Arts. Just want to send a wish to you all and hope you're staying safe, washing your hands, eating healthy, staying active. Transit Arts misses you guys, and we can't wait to see you guys again. So please stay safe.